Hooray for Hollywood! Hello there, I am Stan the Movie Man, and this is my WIMZ.com movie review for February 2019. This month, I went to see Cold Pursuit. It stars Liam Neeson, Laura Dern, Emmy Rossum, Tom Bateman, also William Forsythe, and more. It is the story of Nels Coxman, who is played by Liam Neeson. He is the resident snowplow driver for a small ski community in the Rockies called Keogh. He actually wins Keogh's Person of the Year for his work to keep the roads clear. Now, not long after he wins this award, his son dies of an apparent heroin overdose, except Nels and his wife Grace, played by Laura Dern, know that their son is not a drug addict. It turns out Nels' son got accidentally involved. He didn't do anything, but he got mistakenly involved with a group of drug runners led by Trevor Viking Calcott, played by Tom Bateman. And they think that Nels' son has stolen a package of cocaine from them. He didn't. It was another guy named Dante. But Dante and Nels' son were friends. So he was guilty by association. And once Dante, who managed to escape from Vikings' people, instead of being killed by them the way Nels' son was. Once he contacts Nels and tells him about what happened to his son, Nels starts a campaign against Vikings men, making them disappear as he's working his way up the chain of command from the street level people up to Viking. This also involves Nels' brother, Brock, played by William Forsythe, who is a reformed goon who went by the name Wingman back in his criminal days. And there's also a gang that is made up of Native Americans with whom Viking has an agreement that goes back to Viking's father. And the people from Viking's organization that start to go missing, Viking believes it is the Native American gang that is causing this, and he starts a war with them, not knowing all of his problems are caused by Nels. So it's a revenge fantasy film, but it's kind of different in that it does not take itself that seriously. While it is relatively violent, and there are some horrible, horrible people who make up the gang. The movie has a sense of humor about itself. It knows the revenge fantasy is kind of dumb when you think about it. The one-man army that takes out an entire gang of people, which has become a staple of Hollywood thrillers. If you apply a second's thought to the premise, it is dumb. And I think this movie says, you know, you're right. It is dumb. We're going to continue the trope, but we're also going to have fun with it. And the fun with it they do. The final shot in the movie is perhaps the funniest thing I have seen in a movie all year so far. Granted, it's a fresh year, but the last shot is incredibly funny and kind of comes out of nowhere. But there are laughs sprinkled throughout the film. The main bad guy, Viking, played by Tom Bateman, is kind of a neurotic jerk, and he has this ex-wife, played by Julia Jones, who does not put up with his crap, even though he thinks he's bossing her around. He doesn't realize that she's really in charge of everything. At least in their relationship or former relationship. It's a fun movie that realizes just how dumb it is and it plays off of that. It's based on a Norwegian film, I believe, along the same line, and it's a lot of fun. Now, I guess I have to talk about Liam Neeson and his comments where he talked about wanting to beat up a black guy, any random black guy who might start trouble with him after he heard a black man had raped a friend of his. I'm not sure it would have mattered what color the person who committed the rape was. He would have wanted to beat up somebody that looked like that. So I think maybe he was inarticulate in his explanation of the situation, and that maybe we need to cut him some slack. I realize that things are very sensitive right now, and internet culture is very headline driven without having much substance under it. So maybe we need to sort of calm down a little bit about this particular instance and actually focus on true racism and intolerance in the world. I enjoyed Cold Pursuit quite a bit, and like I said, it's funny and knows it's silly, and I'm giving it 5 guitars. Go to WIMZ.com in the blogs section and look for my complete review. Also, while you're at WIMZ.com, check out The Fractured Frame, a podcast where some friends of mine and I get together and discuss the latest in movie, TV, and streaming news. It is available on the podcast tabs at WIMZ.com and pretty much anywhere else that you get podcasts. You can follow me on Twitter at MovieManStan. And if you want to, send me an email, stanthemovieman123@gmail.com. Till next time, later.